Come, let us explore aggression, the price of focus. The only parts of our brain that are wired or that can facilitate either focus or analysis are the discrete neural pathways found in regions such as the medial prefrontal cortex or dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. We work with the problem is that when we work with these, we soon fatigue our prefrontal cortex. And when that happens, we trigger our amygdala, which is the seat of anxiety and aggression. Let's take a step back and figure out how we got here. Sturgeon's law reminds us that 90% of everything sucks. Since the Neolithic Revolution, the majority of societies have operantly conditioned the majority of their citizens to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. When we are rigid and we are controlling, focus and concentration seems like a really good idea. But as we just noticed, it is not supported by our neurology. Our prefrontal cortex is an excellent tool, but a terrible boss. However, there is always going to be a minority who, just like in the Matrix, will subvert the system. And these people, like the Buddha, will strive to be flexible, loving, rational, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. It is this flexible and laid-back approach to spiritual training that de-emphasizes the prefrontal cortex and re-emphasizes the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous systems. Doing so can calm the intensity of both our anxiety and aggression, as well as calm the propensity for those two attributes, those two impulses of anxiety and aggression, to control our choices, utterances, and deeds. An additional benefit is that relying upon our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems will also stimulate our anterior cingulate gyrus, this part here highlighted in magenta. Which of course functions as the hub of our mirror neurons, the seat of empathy, which in turn is the root of compassion and love. All this as a fringe benefit of mindfulness and meditation. This concludes this morning's opening lesson. And now it's time for something completely different. It is Rey Skywalker's Sunday morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. So what I'd like to do now is switch gears and take us over to the latest iteration of the Song of Mahamudra Sadhana, or practice text. It was composed originally by Tilopa. It was translated by Garma Chang, and it was both adapted as well as amplified by yours truly. So let's begin with the first quarter. Please chat with me. The Mahamudra, which translates as the Great Seal, is beyond all words and symbols. But for you, Narupa, earnest and loyal, must this be said. The void needs no reliance, Mahamudra's Great Seal rests on naught. Oopsie, that's weird. Wow, this is weird. What's going on here? Without making an effort but remaining natural, one could break the yoke of oppression thus gaining liberation. Oh, this is just not working. Oh, that's what's going on. Okay, there we go. If one actively looks for naught when staring into space, if with the mind one then observes the mind, one destroys the tyranny of distinctions and reaches Buddhahood. The clouds that wander through the sky have no roots, no home. Nor do the distinctive thoughts floating through the mind. Once the self-mind is vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly noticed during or inhalation, the tyranny of discrimination's duality stops as we relax into our exhalation. In space, shapes and colors appear to form, but neither by black nor white is space tinged. From the self-mind, the perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination of all things emerge. The mind by virtues and vices is not stained. The darkness of ages cannot shroud the glowing sun. The long aeons of samsara's tyranny of all competitive instincts can never hide the most brilliant light like awareness. Welcome to this morning's first quarter of mindful crease counting meditation. We could keep track of this quarter by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. So the key to mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, thus cooperating with our sympathetic nervous system to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. The key to meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, thus cooperating with our parasympathetic nervous system to physically relax and mentally release to the degree that what we noticed during our previous inhalation could fleetingly feel less tantalizing, less permanent, and even less defining. Come together as a team. Let us practice right now. Good morning, and welcome to the second quarter of Tilopa's Song of Mahamudra. Please chant with me. The words are spoken to explain the void. The void as such can never be meaningfully expressed. Though we say the mind is like a bright light, in an effort to express the lucidity accessed during or med inhalation, and the non-graspability felt during or exhalation, it is beyond all words and symbols. Although the mind feels void in essence as we relax into our exhalation, it seems to embrace and contain all things as we notice during our inhalation. Do not with the body but relax, shut from the mouth and silent remain. With exhalations, empty mind, actively contemplate not. Like a hollow bamboo, rest your body at ease. Giving not no taking, put your mind at rest. The great seal of Mahamudra is like a mind. That during its relaxing exhalation clings to naught. Thus practicing in a relatively short time you could reach Buddhahood. The practice of mantra and paramita are perfections. Instructions in the sutras and sila precepts, and teaching from the schools and scriptures. Will not bring realization of enlightenment's natural state. For if the mind, when filled with some desire, should seek a goal, it only obscures the light. One who keeps tantric precepts yet falls prey to the tyranny of discriminations. Duality of dread and desire betrays a vows of awakening. Therefore cease all neurotic activity, abandon all the tyranny of desire. Let thoughts rise and fall as they will, like ocean waves. One never harms the practice of one who never harms the practice of relaxing into non-abiding emptiness. Know the principles of non-duality, upholds the tantric precepts. They who abandon the tyranny of craving and clinging after this or that, perceive the real meaning given in the scriptures. In the great seal of Mahamudra, all one's so-called sins are burned. In Mahamudra, one is released from the prison of this world's tyranny. This is the Buddha's teachings on Dharma supreme torch. Those who reject it are fools who ever wallow in misery and sorrow. To strive for liberation, one should rely upon the instructions of a guru. When your mind receives the blessings of the Guru's guidance, emancipation is at hand. Congratulations, you've made it to this morning's second quarter of Mindful Crease Counting Meditation. To keep track of the second quarter, please rest the great knuckle. We could rest the great knuckle of our right ring finger upon the tip of our left ring finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the navel region of our mid-abdomen. By way of review, the key to mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, thus helping us to notice mind's antics. The key to meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation, is helping us to relax into mind's non-graspable nature. We come now to the third quarter of Tilupa's Song of Mahamudra. Alas, all things in this world are meaningless, they are but sorrow seas. Small teachings lead only to neurotic acts. One should only follow teachings that induce profound peace. To transcend the tyranny of duality is the kingly view. To conquer the tyranny of distractions is the royal practice. The path of no rigid practice is the way of the Buddhas. One who treads this path reaches Buddhahood. Transient is this world, like phantoms and dreams, as if it was unsubstantial. Grasp not the world, New Yorkin. Cut the strings of the tyranny of desire and dread. Meditate in the winds and mountains. If without effort you remain loosely in the natural state, soon Mahamudra you will win and attain the non-attainment. Cut the root of a tree and the leaves will wither. Cut the root of your mind and samsara's tyranny of our survival drives falls. The light of any lamp dispels in a moment the darkness of long aeons. The strong light of the mind's awareness is but a flash could burn the veil of ignorance. Whoever clings to mind sees not true truth of what is beyond the mind. Whoever strives to practice Dharma finds not the truth of beyond practice. One should cut cleanly through the root of the mind and notice with naked vulnerability. One could thus break away from each tyranny of duality and remain at ease. We come now to the third quarter of this early morning's mindful crease counting meditation. To keep track of this third quarter, let us rest the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger upon the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so, we could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the heart region of our chest. The key to mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, that we might better notice mind's antics. The key to meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, that we might better relax into mind's non-graspable nature. We come to this morning's fourth and final quarter of Tilopa's Song of Mahamudra. Please chant with me. One could not give or take, but rather remain natural. For Mahamudra is beyond the tyranny of all acceptance and rejection. Since awareness is as non-graspable as if it were not born. No one can abstract or soil it. Staying in this unborn realm, all appearances could dissolve into the ultimate dharma of non-graspability. All self-will and pride could thus vanish into naught. The supreme understanding that transcends all entanglements of this and that. The supreme action of centered spontaneity embraces great resourcefulness without attachment. The supreme accomplishment is to realize our inherent Buddha nature without greed. At first, a yogi feels like the mind is tumbling like a waterfall. In mid-course, it could feel like the Ganges flowing slow and gentle. In the end, it could feel like a vast ocean, where the lights of childlike awareness and mother-like voidness merge into one. We come now to our fourth and final quarter of mindful crease counting meditation. To keep track of the fourth quarter, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the crown region of our head. The most efficient way to practice mindfulness is to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, thus noticing mind's antics. The most efficient way to practice meditation is to silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, thus relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.